Well, it's happened. And tens of thousands of workers are starting to go on strike here for the largest automakers here in America. And this is just yet the latest battle here for wage increases here in America as the UAW, United Auto Workers, go on strike here against the three largest automakers, GM, Ford, and Stellantis, which is 16 auto brands here in the United States, to get a up to 46% raise and a 32-hour work week. And one thing is for sure, this is going to drastically raise the price of cars that are already costing an average of over $700 for the average new car payment here in the United States. Take a look at what is happening right now.
We begin with that historic United Auto Workers strike. The union is taking unprecedented action against the big three U.S. automakers by walking out of all of them at once. Nearly 13,000 workers are now on strike at three facilities in the Midwest after both sides failed to reach an agreement before midnight. Senior national correspondent Terry Moran is outside a Ford plant in Wayne, Michigan, where workers are picketing.
At the stroke of midnight and a deal nowhere in sight, the United Auto Workers are now on a historic strike for the first time, walking out of facilities from all of the big three U.S. automakers.
The UAW is ready to stand up. This is our defining moment.
But this is not a mass walkout for now. The union is aiming to disrupt corporate operations with targeted strikes at three facilities: a Ford plant in Michigan, a GM plant in Missouri, and an Ohio plant for Chrysler owner Stellantis. The union says a total of 12,700 workers have walked off the job so far.
This strategy will keep the companies guessing.
In the final hours, a behind-the-scenes scramble to avoid what would be a devastating strike, with President Biden calling UAW President Shawn Fain and all three of the automakers' leaders. And Ford and GM offering a 20% wage increase. But that's only half of what the union was calling for, a 40% increase. They say that's right in line with the pay increases the CEOs have had since the last contract. Workers also demanding a return to pension plans, better retiree health care, and cost of living adjustments. Ford's CEO telling us that the union's demands are unsustainable in an industry aiming to adapt to the future.
We are one of the most important industries for jobs in America. Everyone will suffer, especially in the communities where we have plants.
By one estimate, a strike at all three companies could cost the economy more than $5 billion, with tens of thousands of jobs lost. But for Scott Fox, out on the picket lines here this morning, this strike is about much more than the auto industry. So bottom line, for people watching this, what do you want people to know about what you're doing out here?
I want to know that we're looking out for everybody, not just the union people here at this plant. You got the mega dollar dudes, and you got us down here, the small guys. We want to bring that back up to a better middle class.
And senior national correspondent Terry Moran joins me now from Wayne, Michigan. Terry, you're there at one of the plants where workers are on strike. So what are they telling you?
Diane, they're upbeat. This is the day that they have been waiting for anxiously, but also looking forward to change. The workers at Ford, almost all of them, have never been on strike. There hasn't been a strike at Ford. This Ford plant, they make Broncos and Rangers here. There hasn't been a strike at Ford in 47 years. So this is something new and something important. They feel they're making a difference. And we hear again and again from people here and workers that we've talked to other places that this isn't just about this contract. This contract is important. This is a big battle. The sides are still pretty far apart, but it's about other workers, younger workers coming up. The older workers tell us they've had a good life because of the UAW. They want the younger workers to have the same thing. And it's about workers across the American economy. This is a moment, their president, Shawn Fain, is telling them, and that they sense themselves, where labor has the upper hand for the first time in decades, and they can make a change, reset the balance between workers and management, and not just in the automobile industry. So they feel good. It's day one. You'd expect that. They're getting a lot of support, but the mood here is definitely upbeat.
Terry, the union represents nearly 150,000 auto workers. Only about 13,000 are on strike right now. What happens if more join this strike?
Well, that'll be an indication that the talks are going on. So the way that the UAW has structured these strikes, these are targeted strikes to disrupt corporate operations, but not shut down the entire industry and not put every worker out of work and on the union strike fund paycheck of $500 a week. That'd be tough. So they're trying to gradually, ratchet up the pressure on the corporations, on the car companies.
And so it's a guarantee now that prices are going to be going up for car makers. And you see that for autos, cars, trucks, SUVs that you go to buy, you can see that they're already offering a 20% increase to wages there. But the workers want a 40 to 46% increase and a 32-hour work week, which all the automakers have said no to as of now. But there's going to be some kind of compromise between that 20% and that 40 to 46%. You guys can let me know your thoughts on this. On the other hand, you can see that the workers, they want to get the best wage, the best increase, the best living wage that they can get, especially here that we've seen recently multiple different industries just recently almost go on strike and get this 46% raise. American airline pilots successfully negotiated a 46% raise. And now other industries are going to be doing the same and using the same strategy, saying, hey, we will go on strike. And you heard that video there say that labor actually has the upper hand now for the longest time in a while. And unions, and even if they're not unions, just people in general are now going to say, hey, we feel valued. We want large raises. And this kind of all started here recently with UPS and their almost strike, and now their valued contract, which if you're full-time and when their contract comes to an end, their drivers that are full-time with health benefits and all their 401k, all their different benefits and stuff, they will get up to $170,000 when all their benefits are included for a UPS driver. It's one of the hottest jobs in the country now. All these things are contributing to higher shipping prices. And you got to remember here that also everything gets shipped. Everything, this is going to increase the cost of everything. You also look here that, flights, a lot of things get shipped via airlines. Airline pilots are now getting paid 46% more. And the stewardess actually are doing the same thing. Now, not stewardess necessarily don't include when it's commercial flights, but remember, this is all increasing or, included here when it comes to things having higher costs. Also look here that we're seeing a lot of theft being included to higher prices. Retail theft forces Nike to permanently close their beloved and historic Portland location. The Portland location had the second highest rate of shoplifting incidents in the city since 2019. So we have seen Walmart and we have seen Target say that they had both had $1 billion in losses from shoplifting. We're seeing major brands say coming forward and being more forthright with this. Look at this. Retail theft forces Nike to close one of their most historic locations. As theft and crime continue to wreak havoc in the retail industry, another big name company has announced it will close a once cherished location. Last week, Nike announced that it would permanently close its factory store in Portland, Oregon, due to ongoing theft. All of these things are adding to increased price. You have increased labor, increased theft, and when you see, some of their best performing stores now being closed to theft, You guys can let me know in the comments what you think of this stuff. The Portland factory store first closed in October 2022 with no official statement aside from a message on the store's website stating closed for the next 7 days. However, the store has remained closed, and now the company said it will shut its doors permanently. Nike's commitment to supporting and uplifting Portland's North and Northeast community is unwavering, Nike said in a statement to The Street. We are re-imaging Nike's retail space and permanently closing our current location at Northeast Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard and considering future locations as part of the community's long-term revitalization plan. The store had been open since 1984. Wow. What is that like? Let me see here. 16 and 24. That's 37 years or so. If my quick math is right, so almost 40 years this store was open for a retail store. That's a long time, especially for Nike. That's like almost their whole company history, probably. It's very disappointing. I wish we could have had a different outcome. Rampant theft had been an ongoing problem for the Athletic Brands store, and in 2022, a TV analysis found that Nike's factory store had the second highest rate of reported shoplifting incidents since 2019, behind Target. Wow. And is now permanently closed. In addition to the Nike factory store, several other businesses in Portland have been affected by theft. In March, Walmart announced it would close its 2 remaining stores in Portland. And in April, REI said it would close its storefront in the city's Pearl District next year. REI Portland had its highest number of break-ins and thefts in 2 decades, despite actions to provide extra security. The company said in an email to its members, in recent years, Portland has been dealing with increased crime in our neighborhood and beyond. Wow. Meanwhile, across the rest of the country, some big box retailers have either closed up shop or taken new security members for similar reasons. Wow. Yeah. And all this is contributing to higher prices, higher wages, retail theft, and more. And remember that like these auto unions and labor unions and all these different, I think it's the auto industry, they do this every 4 years. I think it's the auto industry. It's a couple of these different unions. They go back to the table for more wage increases every 4 or 5 years. Yeah, so, and again, I can't really blame them because, I mean, they need a living wage as well. I mean, we just seen a recent report that 61% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. So it's a tough thing, but I mean, honestly, when you go to buy a car and the average car payment right now is $725 to buy a car, leasing a car is almost $600 a month. What are you going to do? It's now going to be even more. And this is why more and more companies are doing stuff offshore. And is this making America uncompetitive? You can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Yeah, it's a tough situation. Let me know here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date. If you haven't yet, subscribe down below. Click the bell icon. I'll keep letting you guys know what's going on here and how long the strike is going to go on and what the outcome is going to be and how much this is going to raise USA-made cars. Yeah, so make sure to like and share this video. Click here to see what Russia and Saudi Arabia did to screw over half of the world. Or click here to see a big announcement for Social Security. Click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.